You know what the best thing about Tom Hanks being the nicest guy in Hollywood?
What?
Nobody ever checks his yard for the bodies.
Yeah.
And now that you've heard that, welcome to Caffeinate, where we tell you about Tom Hanks's bodies.
Yes, and this beautiful butterfly.
Yes. But thank you, everybody, for being here. This is one of our new shows. It is where Gary and I, and today with Andy, drink some sort of caffeinated beverage. Mine is my classic Tetley British blend tea.
Yes.
Andy, what are you drinking?
This is a fantastic blend. This is a Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh,
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
The best
in
of
the
both
can
worlds.
as well.
Yes, in a can.
Got to be specified.
Yes.
It's a different taste.
Yes.
And Gary, what are you drinking?
I am drinking the same thing I was drinking last time, which is the Starbucks Verismo Espresso roast.
With a machine
Very
that
good.
sounds like it's farting very loudly.
It's a very loud machine.
is.
Yeah, it is.
So just so you guys know, this is a brand new show, so we are still trying to find our footing. So it's really just going to be us talking about various things, different things we've been up to. If there's anything specific you guys have that you want to talk about, I was going to say we can talk a little bit about our experiences at New York Comic Con, because it was Andy's first New York Comic Con.
Mine too.
It was Gary's first trip to New York.
Period.
And
But
then
I've been to New York Comic Con. Figure that one out.
yeah. What?
That would be funny.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work.
That would be one of those very perplexing like riddles. Like, how did he go to New York Comic Con?
It's a word. It's a math problem. It's a word problem now.
Yeah.
If Gary has never actually been to New York, but has attended New York Comic Con,
You look for
Solve
a New
for
York
why.
somewhere else.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Which actual New York was he
Yes,
at?
exactly.
Exactly. Is there New York in
There are
there?
other New
There's
Yorks.
gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no.
I'm sure there are.
There's like a Paris, Montana, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for our off-brand traveling show.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Man, we got
off-brand
some great
traveling
ideas.
show.
I think it's a great idea.
man.
That's some great
Yes.
ideas.
I remember a big thing being in the news about like there were people trying to book tickets to Paris, and they were like, yeah, I need tickets to Paris, and for some reason they gave them Paris like Iowa or something.
Oh, yeah.
And,
That would be awful.
And they could do nothing about it. They landed there and they're like, what the hell?
It's confusing. It's like
Yeah.
when a sign says free gluten donuts. You're like, oh, man.
Free
puts
gluten
that on a
donuts.
sign?
Do I try one?
That's never been a
No, it's
time.
never been a sign. I don't know.
Somebody's like,
I don't
free
know. I don't
gluten
know.
donuts.
That would be mean.
You know what?
But
I'm
it's at
going to
a
go.
gluten-free convention.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to a
Free
celiac
gluten
disease conference where they're working on it, and I'm just going to go outside with a booth. Free gluten
Oh, that would be
donuts.
so cruel.
That would be funny as hell.
It would be
Yeah.
super funny. So
Yeah.
tell me about your guys' trips. What did you guys think of New York? What did you think of New York Comic Con? Gary just realized he was very far off the table, I think.
Well, no, we're all just squeezed in more than we normally are. So
Yeah. Plus, the camera looks slightly off-shifted. Nah, it's whatever.
It's fine.
it's fine. Yeah.
No, good. I mean, New York Comic Con was fun. It was really busy. Like I've been to, as Ben was explaining it to me, the three largest in order are San Diego Comic Con is the largest.
Yes.
New York is the second largest, and Emerald City is the third.
Didn't
Yeah,
I know Emerald
actually, yeah.
City was the third?
That's how Ben explained it to me. I have
For a
been to
while there,
Emerald
Denver
City.
was creeping up there as one of the bigger ones, and then this last year it was kind of
Yeah.
not
Because
great.
they also decided to name it.
Pop.
Well, it's
They
Pop
yeah,
Culture
changed
Con
it,
now.
yeah.
well, because of the lawsuit.
So I've been to
Wait,
Emerald
what?
City.
Yeah, San Diego, like basically is suing any Comic Con that claims the name Comic Con, but New York was like, yeah, try to sue us. Basically,
That's the
The whole
stupidest thing
city
I've
as a
ever
whole.
heard.
yeah. This is
Hey,
like, yeah,
yo, try
yeah.
it.
This
Yeah.
is the exact same situation
So-
as those guys going, well, we're copywriting reaction videos.
Exactly, but that's why Denver had to change it because they didn't want to be sued.
That's the stupidest
Yeah.
thing I've
So
ever
go ahead,
heard.
go on.
Want to get
Okay.
sued?
Yeah.
No, I mean it's good. There was a lot of people there. I walked in the first day and could not move. Like just trying to. Okay, where are you guys at? And we're like me and I was there with DJ. We were trying to fight our way
Yeah.
through the crowd, and it was DJ's very first Comic Con. Period.
Yes.
We
Really,
could-
his first
his very
experience with
first, yeah.
comics stuff in general.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we were kind of fighting through the crowd. Couldn't really see a whole lot. I saw some they had like some of the video games on display.
Right.
Couldn't really get to them because of the crowd.
What I found was that New
lines.
York was kind of that way. While it was faster to walk, you still weren't walking as fast as you could.
No, yeah, not
because
even
it was
a
so
little bit.
crowded.
Yes. I mean, I generally had a good time though. I saw
Yes.
some cool stuff. Actually, I probably the best time for me was on Sunday when you and me just went to kill like an hour or two before our flight, and it was pretty
easy to
sparse.
walk
Yeah, we didn't
around,
really have a whole lot of
Yeah, it wasn't
issues.
too bad. Well, it was Sunday.
Yeah, well, that was
Yeah.
the thing, and it's like
It was
Sunday.
Sunday and early too.
Yeah.
So-
when we were leaving, there was like there was like the zombie apocalypse
Yes.
coming towards us. Yeah.
So Andy here was really eyeing this Snake Plissken statue, which was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. It looked really good. But there's good news now. You can now play Metal Gear Solid 5 as Snake Plissken.
Really?
It's like a skin, but yeah, it's perfect. It looks just like him.
I have Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
Phantom Pain, right? That's the
Yeah,
fifth one?
Fan of Pain. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that
That
out
is
there.
awesome. Yeah. We were discussing this because Ben, for those who don't know, Ben loves statues. Ben
Yes, he
tons
does.
of statues.
Yeah, that's
I think,
an
I think like
understatement.
8 of them came in today.
We could turn
actually.
this camera around.
Yeah,
and
it
would
is
be
just
like
I can
blown
see
away.
like 20
Yeah.
right
yeah,
now.
it's like a nerd
And
museum.
they're not small.
No, they're they're decent
they're
sized
large.
statues.
You
Yes.
see the amount of our like upper body that's in front of it.
It's
like
probably about
smaller.
that
big.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
They're about that big.
So we were walking through at one point with Benny, and who's very good at going through crowds because he just
plows.
straight through, and we're all trying to like duck
Yeah,
and
yeah.
weave. But he was like, "Oh, I'll buy you this spider." I think it was a Spider-Man statue. And he was like, "Oh, you want me to buy you that Spider-Man statue?" I was like, "No, I
Yes.
want that Snake Plissken statue
That Snake
right
Plissken
there."
statue, yes.
And it
Although
was
that Spider-Man
awesome.
statue was impressive.
It was, but
was
if
from
I
the
was
video game.
taking,
Yeah.
if I was gonna pick one,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would've gone Snake. Like
Snake
I saw
Plissken,
like
yeah.
Rocketeer statues. They had a couple of
That's
Rocketeers
cool.
ones.
I loved Rocketeer when I was a kid.
That's what I. That's what I'm saying. Like
loved it.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm into. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you and me were looking at Eagle Moss,
Eagle Moss.
which if you saw our
Yes. Conspiracy Cast.
show, now it has tapped into Gary's laptop. We purchased some spaceship models. You got what
Yes,
did you get?
Galactica 2004 model,
Yes.
the original Enterprise, and a tiny little USS Voyager, which is probably to scale.
It is to scale because the Voyager's
with
supposed
the
to be
other
smaller.
ones. Yeah,
And I went with the Viper Mark 7 from Battlestar Galactica 2004
Okay. Yep.
and Viper Mark 2 from 2004 as well.
yes, yep.
So
Yep.
I mean, those are the type of stuff we're into. I don't know. Did you actually spend any money? Did you buy anything?
Not really. I got a autographed comic from Jim Zub. That was
Okay.
only like $5.
Right.
Benny bought me the Gwenpool statue
That's right. Yeah.
as a
Right. Okay.
birthday gift.
Cool.
Yeah, I got some autograph too.
I didn't really get
Yeah.
anything else. I think most of the stuff I got were like the free swag from like the Epic 7 party we
Sure,
went to.
right, yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, I really don't buy things at cons anymore. The only thing I buy is mugs, and we
And we
went
couldn't
around.
find-
and
yeah, we
couldn't
tried
find a
looking for
good
that.
one.
And it's funny because out of every con I've gone to, this is the first time I actually bought myself something
Oh, really?
because I saw something I really wanted. And
Yeah.
It was the Voyager,
It was the
right?
Voyager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
Actually, there was another one that I wanted to buy, but it was the Zelda from Breath of the Wild. But it was
Oh,
it
we
was
saw
one
that.
of the,
Yeah, yeah.
It's coming out in November, and I was
Right.
like, that's a bummer.
yep.
Yeah, it was November, but it wasn't badly priced.
Yeah, it was like
comic-
$80.
yeah,
it was
for-
$80.
yeah.
Looked really nice. It was very good quality. Also, so I looked up the biggest cons. Right.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
not aware that apparently San Diego Comic-Con is referred to as Comic-Con International.
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently that's
Okay.
what it is.
That would make sense why all the big announcements come
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
San
that makes
Diego.
sense.
Number
Yeah.
2 is New York Comic-Con.
Okay.
Number 3 is
Then Emerald City. Then
Okay.
WonderCon, and then Heroes Con
Where's that?
are the top 5. Heroes Con.
Does not say.
Yeah, it does not say. And then the C2E2 is beneath that.
Okay.
And
You must have to
MegaCon,
be a hero to be invited?
Museum of Comic and
It's
Cartoon
required.
Art.
Yeah.
Never heard of that. But
No, Denver's not even on the list.
no. Yeah, they're not even on here anymore.
Which is surprising because a few years ago, 3 years ago, when I went to Denver Comic Con, it was massive.
yes.
They had
pretty big
these.
this
They
year
had
when we
these
went,
huge
yeah,
panels with really like big names in the industry. Like they were celebrating like Star Trek's 50th year, and John Delancey, who plays Q, was there. That's
cool.
And so it was huge. And then I noticed like the years after that, something happened, and
It seemed like they started to really go, all right, let's
kinda
try and
shrunk.
get the most out of as little money as possible.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
Yeah.
it was kind of like they were like, all right, we know people are going to show up. Where can we like trim the edges, so to
Yeah.
speak? Like, how do we
Yeah.
trim the fat of,
Right.
well, people did go to that, but it doesn't necessarily fully relate, so just cut it.
Yeah.
Because, it definitely has changed up a bit. And if I remember right, this past year, like, I felt like there was something off with, like, the organization of it.
Of New
did
York
seem
or
kinda-
Denver?
Denver.
Oh, it
just
was
seemed
off.
Kinda, like,
There
all
was
over the
something
place.
different where
Now,
we were
granted, this
just
is my
like...
first year going, but
Plus, it
Right.
was also the one where they did not tell us we had a table till we walked through and saw the table.
Saw the table.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that's us.
We
should
literally,
s-
it was
maybe
you,
we should
it
stay
was the
here.
three of us in
Yeah.
in Houston.
Yeah.
And we were walking through, and hey guys, look, we have a table.
What's their name?
We should probably go sit down. Yeah. So I noticed that a lot of the cons now, just as like a side note, they're not just. I mean, they haven't been just comic books for a long time.
for the longest time. No.
But now they're even incorporating things that don't have anything to do with like science fiction or fantasy.
Right,
Like
such
I
as?
saw advertisements. There was one, I cannot remember exactly what it was, but I remember seeing it and thinking that doesn't have anything to do with like geek culture, but it was still sponsored. They probably
Yeah.
just paid to have it.
See,
Probably,
honestly,
yeah.
that's
Included,
why I
yeah.
thought it was they had moved towards Pop Culture Con, was so that they could essentially
Incorporate
just
those
go,
things.
Anything.
let's put
Yeah,
anything in
yeah.
here because
Yeah.
it's technically pop culture.
It's pop culture, yeah. Anything, yeah. Which at this point makes sense. You get a bigger following, you get a bigger crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It-
Most people have seen the Marvel movies at least,
Because I
so.
think, I mean, if my thought is what they're actually trying, going towards pop culture could definitely. Because let's be honest, if you're going for a Comic-Con, you're never going to be New York and San Diego.
No.
So if they were to establish
Right,
themselves
right.
as the biggest pop culture con,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
more people would be like, oh, well, I don't like the stigma of a Comic-Con, but that seems
Yes,
to
a pop
involve a lot
culture
of things
con,
that I
yeah.
like.
Sure.
Let me go to that one.
Yeah, because I was just talking to one of my like cousin-in-laws, and she had no idea what like happened at a con or like what it was, I was just talking to her yesterday about it. She's like, so it sounds. She was like nervous to ask. She's like, what do you do at a
Right.
Comic-Con?
Mostly shop.
Mostly shop. You mostly
Yeah,
spend a lot
fight
of
for a
money.
crowd.
Yeah.
Well, it's honestly, I
yeah.
always look at it as it's essentially just a normal conference.
Yeah.
Because if you think about
Yeah.
it, people are presenting things that are going to be coming out.
Yes.
They're showing
Yeah.
off their work. They're
Yeah.
selling things. And
Yeah.
like a lot of people look at that and they go, well, it's comic books or games and
Right.
stuff. So their thought is,
Right.
well, clearly it's not serious. But if you were to
I've
literally
noticed-
just change the topic,
Oh, yeah,
it's a
yeah,
normal
yeah.
convention.
I've noticed
or
actual.
conference.
No, go ahead. You're gonna say
No,
something.
go ahead.
I've noticed that actual comic books now comprise maybe like 20% of the
Oh, yeah,
convention.
yeah, yeah.
It's like 20% comic books, 30% anime,
Yep.
30%
Yeah.
video games, and then the rest is like movie stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like seeing, especially in New York, because there was a lot of it, the like smaller comic book publishers. Not the two big uns.
Or even not the,
Or even like the media, like,
okay.
kind of the
like
second
Image,
tier,
yeah,
Dark
Valiant.
Horse, Valiant.
Flashpool named it real fast. Wrestling.
Yeah, but see,
It's
wrestling does
been-
comics and stuff now too.
Well, they do.
They
yeah,
do,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But like
Yeah.
wrestling is like a
Yeah.
TV
Actually,
entertainment
yeah,
kind of thing.
because
Yeah.
I think it was the Philadelphia Keystone Comic Con that we went to, and there
They had
was
a wrestling
literally
match.
a wrestling
a
match.
wrestling
Yeah,
ring
I
and
remember
like
that.
announcers, and they were legitimately
Yeah.
doing it, and it took
So-
up a large portion
It
of
did,
the.
yeah.
It did.
Luckily,
Yeah.
there
The
was like
hall.
nothing in that con.
Yeah, it
so-
took a big portion of a
Yeah.
10-seat room.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yes. Yeah.
No, but I like seeing like the smaller publishers and stuff like that. There was a couple of them there. It was funny because there was one. I think it was I can't figure out if they're called Upshot Comics or AWA. I've heard both, but they had like their big posters of their upcoming books, and I was like, oh, a couple of these actually look really cool. And I went up to the girl because I was like, oh, I'll get a couple first issues or whatever like that, and they didn't have any. She's like, well, actually, none of these books come out until March.
Oh wow.
She's like, but we're trying to get people excited for them.
Interested.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they had like the creators were going to be there to sign.
Okay.
They had like some art prints and things like
Okay.
that.
Right.
But the actual comics hadn't come out yet.
See, I feel like when you're a smaller company like that, you can't just announce. You have to give something.
They had some decent like writers and artists though, like Frank Cho.
But did
who's
they
really
like
big
give
in,
like samples of the comics or anything like that?
I think if you were doing the signings, they were, but like
Okay.
I just took a couple of like
Right.
the pamphlets that showed like the first covers and
Right.
things like that.
Because I don't know about you, but whenever
yeah.
I see like big announcements, half the time I leave and I forget that they ever
that's
existed.
that's the thing, and like, but then there was other, in kind of like the off alleys and things like that, where it's like very small, like either self-published comics or things like that, and some of those can be very good.
Yeah.
Then a lot of times, and I kind of feel bad sometimes because the guy's like, "Oh, look at my comic," and it's like, honestly, I don't really want to look at your comic.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
it does happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like seeing like the smaller things, like going down to Artist Alley. I got some signatures, even though Artist Alley was friggin' insane.
Oh my gosh.
That would talk about packed.
Yeah,
That place
that
is
was
packed.
bad.
I
Jim
just want
Zub,
to. Yeah,
which
I
was
just.
nice.
Yeah. Jim Zub's funny.
Dude, I like Jim
He's a
Zub.
funny guy. Yeah.
I feel bad for some of the artists in Artist Alley because when it does get so congested, so many people get looked over because you reach the point where you're like,
I just gotta
you
get
know
to who
what?
I wanna see,
Exactly.
and I'm
Like
getting
I
out of here.
can't even browse.
You don't have the time.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
want to look at someone and go, well, let me check. No, you're just like,
Yeah.
I don't recognize.
It's like, well, I only have a half hour. That's
Yeah,
gonna
exactly,
get,
yeah.
I mean, you look at your watch, you're like, I only have a half hour. That's going to get me over to Jim Zub and back.
Yes,
Exactly.
You
And
know?
then you're still going to be
Yeah.
like 10 minutes late
Right.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'll say I talked to Trini Howard, who she's very nice, although she lost her voice. I felt bad
No.
because people are like trying to talk to her.
Right.
She's got like a sign in front of her thing. It
Lost
says,
my
like, lost my
voice.
voice, not being rude, kind of thing. So I got a
Did
couple.
you
Yeah, I
really?
did. I got a couple signatures from her. I met Joshua Williamson. Got signatures from him. Talked to Jim Zub, which was cool. Yeah, I mean, I had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't as many, like, maybe because somebody was saying that, like, we didn't go to the, or I didn't go to the right spot for, like, the cosplay. Because there wasn't as many amazing cosplayers I
Actually,
thought there
so
was gonna
here's
be.
the thing with that, actually.
Right.
I saw some good cosplay.
So here's the deal, right?
Yeah.
So
Tell us, Dan.
The way that it's usually laid out is, I'm sure you guys remember. There's the escalators up to like the
Yes.
sci-fi area, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
the area behind it. Usually that's the press lounge.
Oh, okay.
Like you have to have the press badge to get back there.
Okay.
So most people who have been there before don't even go near because they're like, I'm not going to get back there.
Sure.
It was the cosplay area.
Right.
They're
Oh,
like
okay.
that's where all the big
okay.
cosplayers were. There was like photo booths and stuff like
Did they have
that.
signage?
No,
I
like
was
that
gonna
was
say, I
the
didn't
thing.
know that at
Frustrating,
all,
yeah.
That
Some
was
people
the
go to
thing.
these cons for the cosplay to
Exactly.
see it and to
Yeah,
experience
and that's what I wanted to
it.
take
Exactly.
pictures of.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the big problem was because I went
Right.
up there and I was like, this is where they all are. Like, because I was planning because I was like, I need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be able to get back there where the lines are shorter.
yeah.
And I went up there and
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I can go in. Wait.
Well,
Oh my god! Like
I
because they
think,
were all
yeah.
like the legitimate
Like the
professional,
professional cosplayers.
Right.
amazing
Yeah.
cosplayers.
Wow, that Iron Man is flying high.
I know.
No, a lot of that I
Blew
think,
up a tank.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It
Guy
seemed,
put a
it seemed
lot of
like
effort into his costume.
yeah, it did seem like sci-fi or sci-fi had a bigger presence at this con than I've ever seen them have.
I saw a lot
anywhere.
of lines or a lot of signage and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed they over the years that I've seen them, they're slowly getting bigger and bigger. Because last
Yep.
time I
Yep.
believe they still had that upper booth. Like from
Right.
far as I'm aware, like that upper platform has always kind of been like the
kind of been-
sci-fi lounge.
Right. Yeah.
But this year was like the first year that I saw that massive corner in the left hall.
Yeah.
Where it was just all of them. They had like a talk show and all of this going on.
Yeah.
That was the first time I've ever seen that. But like they seem to really be trying to get their presence out there. Like,
Yeah.
hey guys, we do exist.
Yeah.
We're still around.
We know
damn it.
people don't really watch cable anymore, which is kind of the only place to find us.
Well,
but we exist. We exist.
We got rid of the expanse. We're
Right.
sorry.
Yeah. Sci-Fi Channel has always struggled. Like
Yeah.
they hit like their golden age, which is like maybe a 10-year period.
Yeah, well, yeah,
and then
yeah.
but like before that they struggled. After that golden age, they're now struggling again, and they can't seem to keep things consistent.
I feel like they're kind of similar to MTV.
Yeah.
Where they started off with a very core thing. This is what we do, music or sci-fi.
Yep.
And then they started branching out too much where it was like,
This isn't
or like
MTV
History
anymore,
Channel where
yeah.
they were like, oh, by the way, Pawn Stars. And you're like, because that's
Right.
history.
History Channel is a really good example because they started out kind of rough too. Because for a while it was known as the World War II channel.
Yeah.
Because all you
Yeah.
ever saw on that channel was World War II stuff, and then they branched out and it got really big.
The history of bricks. My dad loved that.
Like really great
not
actual.
even kidding.
Yeah, they started branching out to more history, and then it turned into Ancient Aliens and Pawn Stars, and
Yeah.
like you're like, what is this?
What's the problem here? Aliens are our history. All right, guys.
But yeah,
That's why they put ancient in the title.
Yeah.
ancient.
They were like, therefore it's history.
Ancient aliens. Yeah.
But yeah, like all of these are kind of going in interesting directions.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't really stick to what they're known for. Too many people are now going like with the channels.
Oh, yeah.
They're too much of let's experiment outside what we are literally known for.
Right.
And I think that kind of it dilutes their channels
Yeah.
and it makes people go instead of like browsing because I mean back
Well,
when I
that's
did watch
initially-
cable, I had channels that would
Right.
go this one, this one, this one,
Yeah,
that-
yeah,
and I would just
core
go
channels
to.
you watch.
But if I would like eventually
Right.
find one where it's like, well, I don't want Pawn Stars, and that's the only thing they
Yes.
ever show, I'm not gonna scan that channel.
Yeah.
anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And that's one of the struggles with the Sci-Fi Channel is that they did rebrand. They totally rebranded because they were trying to branch out,
Yeah.
but it's still called the Sci-Fi Channel.
No, it's Sifi.
Sifi. If they changed the name, like
Yeah.
even like just in terms of how it sounds, like that would have been different.
Yeah.
Like if you just totally rebranded,
Yeah, like
that would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Just changing a couple of letters isn't
right,
going to do
exactly.
it.
Yeah. Plus, if I remember right, like Sci-Fi is one of those channels that you cannot get on just like a normal cable package either.
Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
It's standard now.
Is it?
It's
It
basic.
is
It's
now.
now basic.
Okay.
Yeah, basic.
Yeah, base.
Somebody asked
Yeah,
if I
boy.
had caught up on The Good Place. I have not caught up yet. We like almost fall asleep every time we try to watch it.
It's
'Cause
too good.
by
They're
the-
such old people.
Yeah, well, by the time the kids go down to sleep and we've like finally gotten settled in, you just get tired. So
That's fair.
But no, we're only 2 episodes behind. So, but it's very good. I'm enjoying it. There was a Janet cosplay at New York, and she was perfect.
Was there? I did not see
Really?
it.
Yes,
Yeah, I didn't
she
see it.
was perfect.
Which one's Janet?
She's the one that can just like blink, like appear out of nowhere and give you whatever you want.
okay.
Yeah.
She's probably one of my favorite
Yeah,
characters.
right.
Yeah, yeah. So that was good.
The
I
Google
didn't ask her.
Home.
I
of
didn't
heaven.
ask her for anything.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, a very advanced Google Home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sorry, of the Good Place.
Like you're such a
The
beautiful
Good
woman, not a
Place.
woman. Okay, you're a nice robot, not a robot.
I glanced at the chat. Somebody asked any funny stories from Comic-Con. So this was the very first time
Okay, yes, funny
for
stories.
me that I was actually recognized, and it completely threw me off.
Yeah.
It happened to me, I think, 3 times total, something like that.
Yep.
It was actually when I was walking back to my hotel.
Oh,
about to
wow.
cross the road, and someone was like, "Hey, are you Andy from Comic
That's
Story?"
an
And I
even
was
more
like,
strange experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Because you expect it at the con.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
It's
Expect it
just
to come.
out
It's
on the
the,
street.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like the environment. When you're at a con, you see someone and you go, they
Oh, they
look
must-
like this
yeah, I must
person,
know
but
them.
it is
Yes.
here. Whereas on
Yeah.
the street,
You're like,
Well, I mean,
They're
it was
just
walking
looking at a
from the
person.
con. The guy was
Right.
going to
Right,
the con.
and you're
So
wearing your badge.
Obviously,
Yeah.
he was heading that direction too.
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
my favorite was when somebody noticed us and they went, "Are you Dan and Andy?" Dan and Andy.
Yeah.
And I went, "No, Dan and Andy." And he
Dan
looked
and
really
Andy.
confused.
he was like,
interesting.
and it's like,
Actually,
I'm kidding.
I was like, "I'm just messing with you, man."
Not a strange story, but one of my favorite moments was we were at the Valiant booth with Comic Pop and just like us.
I think I know this.
And this one kid walks up because Comic Pop, they're
Yes.
like,
Okay. You are
they-
gonna take this one.
it's not a bad thing, but like they have a very loyal fan base.
Yes, they do.
They
It's,
have a very
it's like an
loyal.
80,000 something fan base, but
Yes.
they are so loyal.
Yes.
And they're nice. And so this
I
kid
like
walks
them more
this
than
kid
us,
walks up and he was like this kid walks up
Yeah.
and points to Comic Story and Benny, and he's like, "I like you guys, but I'm here for them."
Yeah.
he just walks
He
over
was
to
like-
Comic Pop.
Well, he was like, he was
his-
walking up. He was waiting for the
Yeah.
next person to finish.
Yeah.
And I think Benny was like, "Hey, do you want like a poster?" And the kid's exact words
Yeah.
were, "I like you guys too, but I'm here for
But
Comic."
I'm here for Comic Pop.
But you're boring.
Yeah. By the way, guys, they probably already know who Comic Pop is.
Right.
Go check
If
them out.
you-
If you haven't had a chance, check out Comic Pop. They're awesome.
Great
If
content.
you want to know who they Sal is, tune in tomorrow. Absolute Comics.
Yes.
Benny and
Yep.
Sal are going to be doing their show together, and then you can check out Comic Pop from there.
Their marketing just astounds me.
They do they're really.
I
really
love
good.
their merch.
Their merch is amazing.
I wish
Yeah.
we had remembered to bring merch.
I wish we had like comic book covers with
Yeah.
us as characters on them.
Yeah, well,
that
they're-
was so cool.
Yes.
We got one of those like when I first started.
I'm just saying.
And it was we did the Fantastic Four, and it was
Yeah, yeah.
Benny,
Okay.
Natalie,
Yeah, it's an
me,
easy one.
and Jason.
Who would pick though? Because
What do you mean?
Like who would pick what character we
yes,
were?
I don't think it should be us picking who we are.
No, no.
Yeah, that would be
I
harder.
think it should be somebody else picking who
Yes.
we are.
I feel like it would be one of those ones where like we put all of our names in a
I
hat.
get to pick.
Yeah,
No, we put
that
all
would
of
be
our
mean.
names in a hat
You're
and
gonna be
pull
so
each
cruel.
other out.
Okay.
there you go.
And so I'd be like, Andy.
How would you depict? That'd be funny. 'Cause
Andy's
how would you,
Emma Frost.
Yeah, how would we depict Andy as Emma Frost?
First of all, I would look hot as shit. No, I wouldn't actually. That would be terrible. But
You would
Yes.
look,
That'd
you would
be
look
awesome.
hot like
Yes.
literal shit.
Yeah.
yeah, like a hot pile.
Andy Frost.
Andy Frost.
Oh man.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
I just
that would
put
be
me
fun.
in like a
But
full
I-
white
random,
suit,
yeah.
like Wolverine did in the
Yes, Diamond Patch.
Diamond Patch. That's
Yeah.
you just put me in a full white suit.
Actually, I think
There
that
you
would
go.
be a really. I really legitimately think we should make posters of us as
Sure.
characters
Yeah.
and use because I really like.
We should use iconic covers that have
Well,
actually already been made.
and
Yeah.
even if not like that, just like normal covers because I really liked the Valiant posters that they had made.
oh yeah, that was
Specific-
And I-
specifically for the
exactly, and I
con.
like being able to have
Yeah.
something where we can be like, we can sign this and give it to you because people do ask us to sign comics,
Sure.
which is fair, but every time I do feel a little weird
because I didn't
because
have anything
I
to
didn't
do
write
with
it.
that comic.
I didn't like a lot of the time. I'm
Right.
like, I've never even read this comic.
Yeah.
But I feel like if it was one of all of us,
Right.
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
feel more okay, and we can all like sign next to our. I think people would really enjoy that.
The chat decides. I don't know. That could be dangerous
that's
too.
bad. Yeah,
that could be
oh,
dangerous.
yeah,
I like the idea of
Unless
names
it's a
of
poll.
characters in a hat.
I do like that.
Yeah. Just a bunch of comic book characters.
we have
in a
two
hat.
hats.
Yep.
One hat has all the characters. One hat has all us.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
essentially Heroes Against Humanity,
Yeah.
but you still haven't played that with us. I just realized.
Heroes
Nope,
against
I
me.
haven't.
No, we had.
we talked about doing it on like a.
Wait, in
Yeah, we've
Denver?
talked about it.
Yeah, no, we
Didn't you do it with us in Denver?
No.
He was there. No, because the one you're thinking was the year before he was on it with us.
Oh, okay.
Because that was you, me, Rob, Sal, and Benny.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
it was-
right.
Because you
Okay.
were the one
Yep, yep.
calling on the audience,
Yep,
and I came
yep.
up with a lactose powered superhero that
Yep.
lactose intolerant gassed out the villains.
So
If you amplify it, it would work. Kingpin is like, I rule this. Oh, what is happening? Oh my god! Die? Just leave.
just go.
Someone get him gas and X. Or whatever.
Oh, man.
But no, I had. I mean, I had a good time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed meeting
I
the
did too.
fans. I thought it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
it was fun.
Well, I think we can wrap up this episode of Caffeinate. I feel like
Yes.
this is a good wrapping up
Yes.
spot now that we've kind of finished talking about our Comic-Con
Man,
experience
yeah,
and all
stuff
of
all over
that
the
kind of
place.
stuff. Let us
us guys-
know
Oh.
what you guys think of this show. If you like having all of us on here, what parts you like, what parts you don't like. Since we are still in the process of making it and trying to find our footing, we'd really appreciate all of that. If you want to find more of Gary,
Sorry.
damn it. If you want to find more Gary, he is Film Circuit on Twitter and YouTube, and Northward Films on Instagram. If you want to find more of Andy, he is for I Am the Andy on Instagram. If you want to find more of me, I'm Dan T Producer on Twitter and Instagram, and Dan T Streamer on Twitch. Thank you guys for watching. I believe this is a Patreon exclusive at the moment, so there's no real point in saying where we do this because we also don't know what day we're consistently going to record it. At the moment, it's
That's
kind
true.
of our
we kind of
substitute
fit it in
show.
when we can.
It's
even
more of our.
actually
We don't know what to
recording?
do. I
Yes.
hope so.
Has the camera been off the whole time?
I hope I clicked record. But thank you guys
I do
for watching.
too. Very much so.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
guys.
I love you more than they do.
I love you 3000. Too soon.
Oh, I need to stand up.
Yeah, you do.